What's up, everybody? Happy Friday. Hope all you're having a great day so far today. Getting into this episode of GH, it was a hot mess to say the least. I'm gonna be real with y'all. If I was Olivia, I would be pissed at Carly. I would be mad as all get out. Like the nerve of her, I just felt like that was just so selfish on Carly's part. Like she revealed how she got the money to buy up so much of Aurora Media stock. She sold her half of the Metro Court. Her 50% of the Metro Court she sold to some company. Um which I think is insane. Some company called the Still Venture Group or whatever, Stillwater Venture Group. And Carly talking about she got 30 days to buy the stock back. Basically to buy her half of the hotel back, she got 30 days to come up with the funds to do it. That was a fool's move. All because she was so sure Michael and Drew had this vote in the bag and this merger was going to go through. That was that. If I was Olivia, I would have been mad because at the end of the day, Carly does have the right to sell her half of the hotel. She does, but she could have gave Olivia a heads up. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. As a friend and a business partner, you could have gave her a heads up because now Olivia has to work with people she don't know. She don't know the Stillwater Venture Group. Like she don't know these people. She never did business with them, and now they're going to have a say on the business that she half owns. You know what I'm saying? Like that's tacky. That was tacky of Carly to do that. I'm just saying. It was selfish. Like I said, she could sell her share of the business all she wants to, but a heads up would have been nice. Um, it was so funny though because Olivia talking about when she saw Valentine, she felt like he was cocky. You know, like he had this in the bag or whatever. Carly felt like he was bluffing. He was trying to act like he was cocky because he had an ace up his sleeve. In my opinion, she was the one that was cocky. Carly was overly cocky. She thought that Drew and Michael had this thing in the bag and she was gonna get richer off of this. And I'm like, yeah, that was a fool's move. Um, I don't know how this is gonna play out as far as like how Carly is going to get her share of the Metro Court back because I feel like even if she sells her share of Aurora Media, it may not be enough to get the Metro Court back because usually these companies and stuff that buy your company or half of your business, they're going to want to see a profit. They're not going to sell you back your share of the business for what they paid for it. You know what I'm saying? They're going to want you know a profit. You know they're gonna want more than what they paid. You know what I mean? I don't see how Carly's gonna pull this off. At best, she might as well stay as a major shareholder of Aurora Media. She might as well at this point. Everything pretty much backfired. Um, that shareholders meeting was a hot mess. I'm not surprised Ned made the decision that he made. I'm not shocked. Um, it was hilarious though when Lucy was sitting there on the phone with Martin. She was like, "Listen, she was like, I pretty much feel like I'm at this meeting for no damn reason because she felt like this wasn't even going to end up in a tie. Because that's the only way Lucy can vote is if the shareholders have a tie. That's the only way. She's the tiebreaker. Um, and she felt like that wasn't going to be the case because when she saw Ned, Michael, and Drew standing together, she figured that it was going to be a majority vote. Valentine was going to be out. So she was like, what am I here for? I'm like, Lucy, pump your brakes. They need you because it's not going to go the way that you think it's going to go. Like I said, I could totally understand why Ned made the decision that he made. And it was so fun to watch when they asked Ned to cast his vote and he said no. I'm not gonna vote to oust Valentine. I loved the look on Michael and Drew's face. I loved every second of it because I feel like this merger was stupid from the beginning because their only reasoning behind wanting to do it was solely to get Valentine out. That's not a smart way to do a merger. Like if I'm a shareholder in a company and you're talking about merging, you're going to have to show me a business plan to show me how is this going to affect us financially? Like are we going to make huge profits off of this? Like what do you have in store for this new business venture, for this new merger, for this new company? Like, what are the plans moving forward that's going to make this more profitable? How is this going to affect our employees? Are we going to have to lay anybody off? How is this going to affect the shareholders? You know what I'm saying? Like, you have a bunch of questions that you have to ask, and none of those questions were asked or answered. So if it were me, I would have said no. Just say it. I would have had to say hell no. Fuck a merger. Absolutely not. I'm not surprised Lucy voted for Valentine to stay on as CEO. It's beneficial. I understand that they want Valentine out and stuff, and Ned did want Valentine out at one point, but not at the expense of ELQ being merged and him being pushed out. He didn't want that. You know, their only reasoning for wanting Valentine out is because he's not family. That's not a good enough reason. It has to make business sense. And kicking Valentine out at that moment didn't make business sense. He's making the company profits. They're seeing great numbers. So what's the point of kicking him out? For what? Um, and Lucy didn't want to kick him out anyway because it's beneficial for her. I mean, he's making her money too because she still got her stock in the company. Plus, he's an investor at Deception, so it's all beneficial for her. You know what I mean? So it's like, why fix something that's not broke? Would I trust Valentine wholeheartedly? No. Hell no. Valentine's not the type that you fully trust. But you trust him enough to make you some good money. Because Valentine is going to make you some cash. But I enjoyed it though. I'm glad Michael didn't get his way. I was super happy that he was pissed off. He acted like a little grumpy man, but too bad, so sad. You didn't get your way. I don't even know why him and Drew were even shocked. They should have anticipated that move. You know what I'm saying? They should have anticipated Ned not voting with them. I mean, look at all the disagreements they've been having these last few weeks. Is it really a shock? Because it damn sure wasn't to me. I was enjoying it. Um, and the first order of business for Valentine was to veto the merger. He was like, no, there's no need for this merger to go down. So anyway, I was kind of surprised that Martin disclosed Laura's plans for Victor to Valentine. I was a little surprised by that. I said, okay, Martin, I see you breaking your sister's confidence. You telling your sister's plans to her enemy's son. I mean, was that the smart move? I understand, Valentine is his client, but I wouldn't see that as privileged information. I'm just saying, like, why you go running your big mouth? And I wonder what Valentine's gonna do with that information. Is he gonna go back and tell Victor, like give Victor a heads up about what Laura's planning on doing? Because if that is to happen and he finds a way to block it, I wouldn't be surprised if Laura begins to be suspicious on how he figured out what she was up to, and it might point to Martin. And I would hate for that to happen because I like her and Martin's relationship. They've really bonded and grew close. I would hate for that to mess them up. So anyway, moving on from that. Willow done collapsed again, this time on the stairs. She done had another damn dizzy spell. I'm like, what is going on with this girl? Is she pregnant? That's what I've been wondering because this is not the first time she done had a dizzy spell. So I'm starting to question if she knocked up. It would explain it. It would definitely explain all these little dizzy spells because she's been having them frequently. And she need to go check that out and go to a hospital or something. So anyway, moving on from that. Chase, he need to get it together. Chase really is about to lose his career behind BLQ. And Jordan was not playing around with him. I totally get why Jordan would fire him. I get it. It's not like Chase is giving her, any other choice. Like, this is not the first time he done put his hands on somebody in the name of BLQ. He hit Valentine because of BLQ, and that's what got him suspended in the first place. Now you punch another guy because of what he says about BLQ, and now you're looking at termination because that's the only way Link is going to drop those charges. Link is not, he's not trying to press charges against Chase, but he wants him gone from the PCPD. And at this point, Jordan's hands are tied. It's like, she can try and protect his job, but it's not looking good. And she wants to know from Chase, like, give me a reason why I shouldn't fire you. You know what I'm saying? Like, how do I know this is not going to happen again? I totally understand where Jordan is coming from because when you're the boss, it's like you can't have your officers or your detectives running around putting their hands on people. I totally get where she's coming from. Even if Link did deserve that punch, and he does, he deserved that beat down. and then some. But as an officer of the law, it doesn't give you the right to go around putting your damn hands on people. He talking about, oh, I was provoked. You were not physically provoked. That's the big difference. There's a difference between being physically provoked and provoked. You were verbally provoked. Verbal, it don't mean squat. Anybody can walk up to you and say, oh, you're a pussy, or you're this, you're that. They didn't touch you though. You know what I'm saying? It's words. You know? So Chase need to learn how to keep his hands in his pockets and figure out what he's gonna do with his life, because BLQ is just gonna get you in trouble. Like, she was willing to go to Jordan and amend her statement and stuff just to try to get Chase off the hook. But Chase said, "No, nah, I'm not gonna let you do that. I'm not gonna let you perjure yourself and lie and all that. I'm not." I get it, but I just feel like, as much as I like Chase and BLQ together, with him being a cop, I don't see how that's gonna work. I really don't, because BLQ has this way of coloring the lines, coloring outside the line, and it's like, how is that gonna work? They got to figure that out. The crazy thing is, BLQ was trying to broker a deal with Link, because Link pretty much sold one of her songs to a paper towel company, and he was like, oh, you should sing some jingles or write some jingles for them or whatever. I'm like, he is such a sleaze. And she was willing to broker a deal that she'll work with him or whatever. Like, she was willing to partner up with Link again if he dropped the charges. And Link was like, no, we ain't got no deal. Link loves toying with BLQ. Like, he loves it. He loves playing games with her. And she keeps allowing it. It's like, she just needs to drop this. Like, if you don't have any other way to get your original songs back from him, leave it alone. It's like, let it go. She just keeps getting herself deeper and deeper into this, and you're getting Chase into this now. Don't get me wrong, Chase is a grown man, so he could always say, no, I'm not going to do it. But, he already said no before, and look what that got him. BLQ got angry at him again. So it's like, I don't see how that relationship is going to work if they continue on this path. Like, they need to figure that out real quick. Anyway, moving on from that. Dante was sitting there trying to speak with Brad about his affiliation with Miss Wu and stuff like that. And my whole thing is, I really hope Brad has a plan to get out from under his aunt, because him continuing to work for Selena, it's not going to be good. You know what I'm saying? It's not going to be good for him. I don't know what his plan is, but something tells me I'm hoping that he does have one. Dante, when he was talking to Cody, he wasn't surprised that Cody came up with some excuse as, to why he can't ID the person that beat him up or whatever. Dante anticipated that answer, because he was like, oh, it was dark in the alley and whatnot. He anticipated him to say that. And then Dante started telling him a little about his history with Britt and stuff, and the whole Rocco fiasco and whatnot. And he was like, oh, Britt, she does shady things and whatnot. But, I think that's what enticed Cody even more about her. And of course, he wasn't surprised when he heard the name Faison, and he found out Faison was her father and stuff. Of course, everybody who doesn't live under a rock knows the name Faison, Cesar Faison. Dude has been all over the news for years, for decades. So they you hear his name, it's like, yeah, I know who that is. So I wasn't surprised that Cody heard the name before. I mean, hell, his name's been all over the media for years. So, you're going to come across it. Just like when he found out Sonny was Dante's father. He knew of Sonny Corinthos. I'm like, of course, everybody know who Sonny Corinthos is if you don't live under a rock. But it seems like Miss Wu's people, they worked him over pretty good, because his ribs and stuff was still hurting. So Dante had no choice but to take him to the hospital. I know he didn't want to go to the hospital before because he couldn't afford it. And I was surprised when Dante said that he would foot the bill. I said, what? You gonna foot the bill? Them hospital bills cost money. I'm surprised Dante even got it like that. Like, between his house and taking care of Rocco financially by himself and stuff, I'm like, you can afford to pay for this man hospital bills? I said, that's a bit pricey. I was surprised that he was willing to do that. So anyway, when Britt was taping Cody up, he made mention of her father and her parents and stuff. He was like, "Oh, I know it's you got a raw deal out of life, and it's hard to live up to your father's legacy and stuff." And she just got cold with him, like she got real pissy with him. Um, Honestly, I don't think Britt wants to live up to Faison's legacy. She's not trying to be like Faison. She's not trying to be how her mother was and stuff. That's not what she's trying to do. I could definitely feel some sexual tension between Cody and Britt. And now Cody talking about, oh, he found a reason to stay in town. I said, of course you did. He wants him some of Britt. I said, of course. I'm not shocked that he's going to stick around town for her. I want to know even more about his past because something tells me that Cody is not on the up and up. I know Dante was pretty, happy that Cody was going to stick around for a while and stuff like that. But something tell me he always going to be up to no good. And it's funny how Dante talking about, oh, Britt is always up to something shady. Look at your friend. He's as shady as shady come. Hell, that's Shady Palms right there. Like, you know what I'm saying? How you going to sit there talking about how she's shady? You see who you're sitting across from? Like your friend has a pretty checkered past. Look who he dealing with. Mobsters and poker games with mob bosses and stuff. Come on. That ain't shady to you, Dante. But I'm really glad that Brad and Britt are still friends because I like their friendship. He's still trying to make amends to her for that whole video thing and whatnot. He even brought her, a coffee and croissant. I said, go ahead, Mr. Brad. He is trying to kiss some major booty to get back in her good graces. But, she ain't going to stay mad at him forever because it ain't like he, uploaded that video to hurt her or whatever. He thought it was in good fun. It was, bad taste. But could have cost her job, but I guess. So anyway, that was pretty much the whole episode. Hit the comment section. Let me know what you all thought. And I will see you all later. Have a great day. See you all later. Peace.